Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Bridger Rogers, and with this channel, my goal is to help you guys bridge the gap between who you are and who you were born to become. Guys, I have one of my best friends, Tullos, here on the channel. This guy is an absolute stud when it comes to sales, success, mindset. This guy is the next Tony Robbins. He's going to be a motivational speaker. He's going to write books, guys. He's going to change a lot of people's lives. He's got one of the best travel companies in the world when it comes to getting to exotic destinations for pennies on the dollar. Definitely want to check this guy out. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about a couple of the B's: business and body. Okay, this guy is in great shape. He's been on a bulk, but he's also very successful in business, and he's got a lot of young guy, and I'm sure that he's got a lot of wisdom that we can extract. So the first thing I want to talk about, brother, is what do you think the difference between, I knew that you grew up in Austin, Texas, just so you guys know, and he was telling me a little bit earlier ago about kind of the friend group that he grew up in, and it wasn't anything special. Like he was saying, there's something special about Scottsdale. The people that are there, are all very success-minded, successful. How do you really stand out? How do you stay, consistent with wanting to be successful when everyone around you is a sheep? How do you stay an alpha lion when you've just got sheep around you?
I think that for most people, including myself, and maybe the way that you grew up, Bridger, and myself included, that we all have this emotional home containing certain emotions that we grew up in. And if I'm going to be honest for myself, I grew up in an emotional home of insecurity or lack of confidence or fear, anxiety, worried and feel like I have to follow a path that might have been laid out for me by whether it's society, my parents, someone else. And so we live in that emotional home and we operate and view life based on that emotional home. And so for myself, if I were to give advice to you listening and watching this today, is getting an emotional home of confidence, of certainty, of knowing that your dreams, your goals, your ambitions are coming to you, and finding a different emotional home other than fear and insecurity, but absolute and total confidence in your ability to achieve something. Absolute and total confidence for your goals for yourself that you have laid out for not only yourself, but for your future family and for those that you love to impact. So I always try to make decisions myself off my future self. Like 5 years from now, is this decision going to help me or hurt me? Because I think that every decision we make, both small and large, ultimately impact what our lives are going to look like in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's not a matter of if we're going to be somewhere in 5 or 10 years. It's a matter of where you're going to be.
Wow. And
the decisions that we make every day ultimately, help you get there or not. And so it's either, a decision to make you or put you forward, or a decision to put you aside sometimes or backwards.
Wow, that's money, man. So basically kind of what you're saying is getting out of the normal emotions that the sheep are experiencing, fear, and uncertainty, and getting to a state of certainty and confidence. But I'm sure a lot of the guys are watching this right now. How do you get into that state, brother?
I think putting something motivational in front of you every day, whether it's an impactful story, a motivational video, someone that you want to be like on YouTube, social media. I mean, the amount of content that we have available to us today as individuals versus where we were 100 years ago as a society. There's people that for their entire lives have done nothing but put out content for you to watch, for you to grow, for you to impact. And so there's nothing more right now that we have, in front of us. Like, information is free. Like YouTube, you can find out how to do anything from how to cook a meal to how to write a book to how to speak on stage to how to have a successful business to how to have a successful e-commerce store. Anything that you want to do is available to you at your fingertips and it's, your cell phone, basically. So I think putting something motivational in front of you every day, like I said, a motivational video, whether it's, the compilation type videos that you see on YouTube, or a book that's in a specific area that you want to read about, or surrounding yourself with someone that might be a level or two ahead of you, or impacting someone that might be a level or two beneath you, and always thinking about, like I said, legacy, and always trying to improve in every facet of your life, and going for, and this is my last point on this topic, the ideal scene, which is what I'm the most passionate about, because I think that success isn't just having success in one area, but true success is having success in all areas. It's happiness, it's spirituality, it's finance, it's being able to spend time with your kids, it's having a lifestyle that you want to live, and not the other way around.
Love that, dude. you working on the phone, bro?
Dude, honestly, just the GPS to get to
Where are we going, Alex?
Imperial Sand Dunes, where I guess the famous sand dunes of America stand, where literally it looks like the Middle East, it looks like Dubai, looks like, I don't know, places exotic places.
I'm excited. It's literally 3 hours from where we live, so it's cool that we can just take a little day trip. This guy's actually, it's his 25th birthday today.
Yeah.
So I guess you're 25 now, I'm 20. What would you go back and say to your 20-year-old self? If you could hand him the phone, you could FaceTime him for 2 or 3 minutes, and something that would drastically either impact or speed up success. Obviously, you like where you're at today, you're successful, but what can you do to speed it up, maybe, and do what you did in 5 years in 2 to 3?
The first thing is, don't be so hard on yourself. The goal that I had for myself to make X amount of dollars by a certain age came, but in the interim, I did nothing but beat myself up the entire way, thinking that it might not happen. When in reality, like I said, going back to the confident certainty state, if you can be confident and certain behind knowing that it's going to come for you, that's where, as I had mentioned, for me at least, like I said, I was so hard on myself, so I didn't need to be that hard on myself. If I would have just been happy during the process, it would have been so much more enjoying of life and putting myself in a discomfort state, which is awesome, by the way, but sacrificing happiness for me, just looking back, I got everything that I was going for, that I put myself in terms of goal-wise, and then looking back, I'm like, dude, I beat myself up the entire way. Why did I do that? Why did I go out and put myself in a position where I was depressed or sad? So it's if there's a goal that you have or a dream that you have, there's 1,000% certainty that it's possible for you. And I feel like the only difference between it or not is just knowing that it's going to happen.
Wow. I love that, man. So basically going back and telling your 20-year-old self that, dude, listen, man, you're on the path. You have what it takes. Just enjoy life. Be in the present. Be happy. And know that those things are going to happen. Have the certainty. Have the confidence. They're going to happen, dude. And just enjoy life and don't stress about whether they're going to happen or not, because they will happen. Because the difference between winners and losers, as we all know, is the winner keeps getting back up again until he wins.
Yeah.
And that's what you and I are. We're winners. We don't give up until we win.
Yeah.
And knowing that, guys, and you're a winner if you're watching this channel right now, because you're looking for the tools, the tactics, the strategy, the knowledge, the information that's going to change your life, help you bridge that gap, get where you want to go quicker. So with that being said, let's transition into fitness, because I know that you've had a crazy fitness transformation. This guy grew up fat kid, right? Fat kid.
Fat, bro. Fat.
Well, first off, let's share with the audience what it felt like to be out of shape, overweight, fat, how that affected your confidence, how people treated you versus today.
Yeah, it goes back to the emotional home. I mean, I grew up overweight, fat, and totally insecure about every part of my life. And so, it's tough for me because I grew up in a neighborhood with 5 best friends that all were lean, skinny, and could eat whatever they wanted to and look however they wanted to. And I had to work 3 times as hard, and so I never worked that 3 times as hard. And so, man, I started off 269 pounds. I was 5'10", and I threw my entire energy and every atom into fitness and personal development with my body. And so that stemmed to financial success, that stemmed to personal development. And so throwing myself into fitness for me made me who I am today. Losing 100 pounds, getting down to 169, and then trying to bulk up, put on size, eat right, lift weights, do everything right from nutrition, fitness, and putting every meal that I had on a scale to make sure that it was weighed out properly to get the amount of calories, protein, carbs, and fats and stuff. So I mean, for me, like I said, coming from that to trying to have the body that we all would love to have is a easy thing to look back on as you're doing it, or when you did it, to pull from whenever you're trying to go achieve financial success. Meaning, I've seen the success partially right with fitness, so I'm able to pull from that experience and know that, well, I'm going to try to achieve 8 figures. If I just know that, I did this, pull everything that you learned through the stress, through the discomfort, through the discipline, and apply that to income, apply that to finance, apply that to any venture or business or success that you want to achieve.
Wow, that's deep, bro. That's some good stuff, man. I have a lot of respect for this guy, man. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. This is one of my closest friends. This dude always shows up on time, ready to go, good attitude, no matter what's thrown his way. This dude is dialed, he's focused, good energy, and he's ready to max out whatever he's doing, ready to go to the next level. That's an alpha keen mindset for you guys. So, okay, so what are some things that you think helped you along that journey in terms of transforming your physique? Obviously working out, obviously nutrition, but in terms of the mindset, was there anything that switched for you? Because I know that there's probably a lot of people right now watching this that are very overweight and it's overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
How do you get started on the journey? How do you stay consistent?
True commitment happens long after the decision that was made originally to achieve it. So, it's easy to, in a place of comfort, make a decision to do X, Y, or Z, whether it's fitness, income, or business. But then 6 months later, once you get hit in the face 13 times, and once you've not seen results or seen little results, or maybe the results that you haven't wanted to see, staying committed long after the decision was made back 6 months ago is huge. So, like I said, making decisions and knowing that every decision impacts that outcome. So I think, for me, content on YouTube for fitness and watching the specific videos that you need to watch for your fitness goals. So if that's how to put on size for a skinny guy, there's videos for that. If it's how to lose weight during a process where you're just working out, there's videos for that. There's videos for how to lose weight and build muscle. Although while it's hard, it's possible if you just watch the content and you do it the right way with your nutrition. And so, depending on where you're at with your fitness goals, if you're the skinny guy, you can eat whatever you want to and bulk up. You just need to eat more calories. If you're the fat guy that's like, you can't do that, then it's about making sure that you eat clean and the proper amount of calories to suffice the fitness goals that you're going after. So like I said, there's YouTube videos for every part of what you want to do with your fitness, and I had to watch all of those.
Yep, I love that, man.
Border Patrol here.
I'm the same way, brother. Got California Border Patrol.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's some good stuff.
Were you a citizen? We're gonna tell them no.
Oh no. No, senor.
No, senor.
I love it. Well, dude, that's some money, man. Appreciate you sharing the bombs. Let's see if we get through Border Patrol, guys. It's sketchy. We'll see.
Okay.
We got through. Woo!
Well, that wasn't hard at all, dude.
That's how it usually is. California's pretty chill.
I was gonna say, dude.
Yeah.
It's not like that in Texas. You gotta stop and you gotta look them in the eyes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you gotta look them in the eyes.
Damn, give them the Texas stare.
They say, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" You're like, "Yes, sir." Do you have any illegal immigrants in the car with you? No, sir.
Damn.
Why are you traveling? I thought it was about to be that whole episode.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Another point that I want to make, which was I think the most important for me, is the Picasso painting analogy.
Okay.
The Picasso painting analogy. You think back to Picasso or the Van Goghs or the famous painters that you might know by name. Like their paintings, they're so specific, they're so detailed, they're so vivid, they have so much in them. And so what I tell myself is, at whatever age you are, whether you're 35, 25, or 15, if you can have a Picasso painting scene for yourself and what you want your life to look at by a specific age, not just like in the future, because that's so like not clear, but if you can say that by the time that you're 35 years old, by the time that you're 40 years old, by the time that you're 25 years old, by the time that you're 30 years old, whatever you feel like is an age that's realistic and clear enough and has potential enough to be true by that age, and having a clear, specific, very detailed Picasso image of what you want your life to look like. Not just fitness, but health, but wealth, but business, but family. And so having that ideal scene of what you want your life to look at as clearly, as vividly, as specifically detailed as a Picasso painting, in every specificity, and that's the image that you wake up with in front of you every day.
Wow.
And then every single day you're throwing darts at that bullseye. You might not hit bullseye in your first year, but you try for 5 and 10 years, eventually you're going to hit bullseye, and that bullseye is going to be whatever you want to do in life, whether it's New York Times bestselling author, motivational speaker, change and impact the lives of 100 million people, leave a legacy, like own a successful business, provide for yourself and for your family, retire your parents, and have, like I said, the lifestyle that you want to have for your kids and future generations to come.
Wow. Dude, that's money. So basically having a crystal clear vision for the future, knowing exactly in detail, in specificity, the emotions that you're experiencing, the things that you have, what you've accomplished, who you're surrounded by, you know, what you drive. Guys, this is one of my most passionate projects. Actually, the second program I ever created was called the Freedom Schedule Blueprint. And that's what it does, is it teaches you in 3 steps how to essentially create that Picasso painting. Because I know it's probably overwhelming. You're like, okay, well, where do I start? Do I do it 10 years? Do I do it 5 years? 1 year? You know, once I create this giant vision, how do I actually start to get the action steps to implement? And so that's why I went and studied the greatest success, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, all the guys that, you know, have achieved what I want to achieve. And I studied their strategies and created something that worked for me and my clients. And if you're interested in that program, the Freedom Schedule Blueprint, the link's going to be in the description of this video.
Go buy it.
I invite you to go buy that program, invest in yourself. I guarantee you it's going to help you, give you the tools, the tactics, and the strategy to implement, not only getting that vision very, very clear with the exercises in it, but also the 91-day action plan, the things you're going to do on a day-to-day basis to transform that dream into a reality, guys.
And all those people that you named, you know, when they first started out, they stated that they wanted to do it, and look where they are now. I mean, like, they preached for years before they finally got it, but they were preaching for years. And so depending on where you're at, if you've just been preaching for 6 months, or if you've just been preaching for 3 months, or if you just found out about personal development, or if you've been in it for 10 and 5 years, or 15 years, it doesn't matter. Like, they're always preaching that dream. And so there's going to be so many people to ridicule you, tell you that you're not going to make it, that it doesn't make sense, that you think too big, but you've just got to listen to that one voice that's inside of yourself that continually tells you that you can do this. And as soon as you fall off that horse, which happens and will happen, you have to be the individual that is able to put yourself back on that horse through the content that you immerse yourself with and the people that you surround yourself with.
Wow. Dude, I love that, man. So listening to that voice in your head, in yourself, not letting the noise, the distraction of other people, as Steve Jobs calls it, dogma, you know? Other people's opinions or beliefs. This truck's trying to cut us off.
So yeah, think about it. I mean, there's 2 voices inside of yourself, and you know this to be true. I know this to be true. Bridget knows this to be true. There's 2 voices inside of yourself that happen at all times. There's the voice that says you can do this, and the voice that says you can't do this. Now, the voice that says you can't do this doesn't say that you can't. It says that you're too young. It says that you're too overweight. It says that you don't have enough money. You don't have enough experience.
You're not ready.
You're not ready. You haven't seen enough in your life. You don't have the connections yet. And that's the voice that says you can't. The voice that says you can is that feeling and emotion that you get, not in your heart, not in your mind, but in your heart, that opens up this like porous feeling that says, man, I might be able to do that. I can do that. And that's the voice that you're listening to more. Yes. And then you need to put people in your life that are feeding into that voice as opposed to the other voice.
Wow.
And sometimes they're the closest people that you know by name. Best friends, people that you've grown up with. Closest people that you know. And sometimes they're telling you stuff that while they think is in the best interest of you, but it's because they're coming from a place of thinking what they can accomplish and not what you can accomplish.
Wow, that's money. What would you say to someone he's starting to realize, like, oh my God, like, that voice I was getting fed by some of the closest people in my life. Like, what do I do, Alex?
Well, one, drown them out, either that or, filter them out of your life. And so sometimes, like, my best friends that I grew up with, that I went to school with back 6-7 years ago, like, while they were my best friends, they didn't have all the dreams that I had. And so as opposed to just cutting them off and just saying, bye guys, I'm going to go try to be a multi-millionaire, see ya. I mean, that's just, you don't want to do that because you can't do that. It's tough. It's too tough to do that. So if I hung out with them 5 times a week,
oh shit, we're back, guys. We're using the
I'd hang out with them after that next week 4 times. Yep. Then a month later 3 times, and then 2 times, and then 1 time, and then eventually you just filter them out, and then now you just see them on social media. And bless their hearts, as good of people as they are. But if you want to level up to the next level and see the life and lifestyle that you want to see, then you've got to do it with the right people, the right team, the right influence, the right people, the right content, the right books, the right thoughts, the right mindset.
Yep. 100%, brother. I've talked about this a ton on my channel, guys. If you want to become a winner, if you want to really step up and level up from just, regular man or regular alpha or even a beta male to becoming an alpha king, a guy who walks among winners, you can't be hanging out with losers, because winners don't hang out with losers, guys. And if you're in that loser crowd, you got the loser vibe, you're going to literally repel the winners in your life. They're going to feed that voice because they don't want to be associated with that group. And so the only way is you have to isolate yourself, and you have to start becoming a winner on your own. And by isolating yourself, you're starting to to get into a vibrational state where you can attract the quality of people in your life that are going to feed into that voice. They're going to help you live your ultimate dream life. That's what I had to do. That's what Alex had to do. And you don't have to say goodbye, but you have to say, hey, listen, you know, I'm really focused on my goals right now. I'm going to be pretty busy for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe we'll catch up in a month.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the steps, guys. I love it, dude.
Yeah, I'd say another thing, you know, if I would say, for me at least, you know, what helped me in the beginning, especially if there's a lot of that discomfort or like feeling of not knowing what to do, or like those insecurity feelings, or the feelings of, like I said, the can't voice that says that you're all that, or that says that you're what I mean by that is you're too young, too inexperienced, all that. Getting a piece of paper and writing out all the uncomfortable things that you either don't like about yourself, or the problems that you're blocking mentally about the I'm too young, too experienced. Put all that on paper and then put it in a box. And then now that that's vocalized and out there, and put it in a box and it's in front of you, do the best to put that box to the side. And then now you know it's there, but it's over here now. It's a small box. All that has been written down. It's out of your head, and you don't have to live with it anymore. You can try to live with the straight path and the tunnel vision path of like what's in front of you and like what you need to do to go accomplish the things that you want to do in life.
Wow, I really like that exercise, man. I'm about to do that right after this video. Create a box of the things that are holding you back, your limiting beliefs. Take that box, write them down, and, you know, forget about them. You know, and just put them on the paper, or even, you know, if there's something that you need to improve on, maybe even take it as constructive criticism to yourself. Start to improve those things. You know, if you feel like you're insecure, man, start to build the confidence. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Stay consistent with who you are. How important is affirmations and getting clear on who you are as a person?
That's the difference between you achieving your goals and not. You know, like the momentum factor side of things, where you're telling yourself that you can do this, you can't do this, you can, I will, I must, it's done. And so that's the difference for me when it was, you know, trying to make $100,000 a year, you know, at 20 years old. It was like the voice in my head that said I could and couldn't. And then the days that I woke up and told myself that I could more times than not, that's when like the checks started to get bigger, because I would continually tell myself that it was possible, that I could. And then, you know, the voice that was I can't was only there one time a week, or, you know, twice a week, as opposed to the other 5 days where I was like waking up feeling like I could take on the world. But then it's funny, like one day you'll wake up and you're like, dude, like I can't do nothing. Like, you know, we all go through those phases.
Yes, the ups and downs, man. If you're on the journey to becoming that 0.001% man, that alpha king version of yourself, you're not always going to feel that way. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Alex, you know, he's the same way. Sometimes you wake up and you feel like a loser. You feel like you're failing. You feel like you're just screwing up in every area of your life. You feel like all hope is lost, and you almost want to jump back on the loser path. But in those moments, guys, is what's going to make or break your success, guys. And that's why it's so important to, when you get off track, have a routine to get back on track, guys. Whenever I get into that state, guys, I immediately put on some motivational video, guys. You know, I type in motivation 2020. I call up a friend who I can, you know, talk with, get some energy from, you know, and I'll be like, dude, what's going on, you know, and then on top of that, guys, is perspective, gratitude. Be grateful for how far you've come, guys, because if you're on that path, you've accomplished some things in your life that other people haven't, and be grateful for how far you've come and where you are in your life. And that perspective, that gratitude will get you into a frequency where you're going to start to attract more, and you're going to get into that confidence, that certainty.
That's exactly right.
What do you do besides everything I said? Is there anything else you'd add to what do you do when you're in that state? You wake up and you're just down, you're not feeling like you're going to achieve anything, you feel like a loser. What do you do when you're in that state to bounce back?
For me, I mean, I go back to all the things I have overcome. You know, I realize, you know, we build these calluses. I guess I would say this, you know, I'm extremely interested in emotional intelligence, but I'm even more interested in emotional fitness, meaning going back to all the pain that you've experienced in your life. Just like we get calluses in our hands, we build them in our minds through the experience and dysfunctions that we've seen with our family, with our friends, with life. And those emotional calluses that we build can help you overcome stuff. So when you think back on, yeah, my brother tried to commit suicide 3 times. Yeah, my parents got a divorce when I was 5. Yeah, I didn't meet my father until I was 12. Yeah, I was mentally and physically abused from the time that I was 0 to 18 years old. And so, like, if you can pull from those experiences, as negative as they are, and realize, hey, I'm still here, I'm still fighting, I still have dreams, that might be able to say, man, that story can impact you and someone else in the future. And there's people that have been and done much bigger things than yourself and me, that have achieved much greater things and started in a place that was much worse than me, right? People that literally grew up or were born in an abandoned building, were homeless, you know, through the time that they were 25, or were broke, you know, in debt, $250,000 when they were 25, and then achieved everything that they have. Like, they've done it, so there's no reason that we can't, you can't, and anyone can't.
Wow. Dude, that's incredible. Just think about all, that's why it's so important to watch successful people. Yeah, you're getting fired up, dude. Drop some more motivation, dude.
Get me fired up. No, keep going.
Dude, I love it. Guys, it's so important to study successful people, because, you know, if you can become, you know, the more your brain gravitates towards that which it is most familiar with. So if you can start to study successful people, listening to their autobiographies, you can start to listen to their stories, and you become familiar with them, you're going to start to associate and think of yourself, you know what, I'm like Elon Musk, I'm like Steve Jobs, I think like that, I have the same traits as that person.
Yeah.
And when you start to identify as that type of person, you're going to start to have the mindset, guys, to achieve the things. And I couldn't agree more. Success is 99.99%, you know, mindset. That is this, because here's the mindset's going to build the social circle. The mindset's going to overcome the odds. The mindset and how you think is what's going to put you on the path to being successful, guys, and overcoming those things. Because there's going to be a lot of obstacles. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and it's how you can handle those. And like you said, your emotional fitness is what's going to either, you know, put you back on the path of losers and keep you there, or it's going to bounce you back and reset you, you know, to where you're able to achieve the things that you want to achieve, man. So any last minute, I know we've been going for a while, any other 60 seconds words of wisdom, and anything last you'd want to leave to your kids,
to my
future
kids.
Family, man? They're going to be watching this, dude. I guarantee you. We're documenting this.
I guarantee it, man. 2 most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day you find out why.
Wow.
2 most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day that you found out why. So, you know, there's a purpose that you have for your life. Only you know what that is. There's going to be people that tell you that you can't. There's going to be people that you tell you should do something else. But at the end of the day, what matters most is what's inside of you and what you know for yourself to be true. So question things, look up to the people that you want to look up to, go achieve the life and the business and the dreams that you want to achieve for yourself, because in the beginning you've got to be selfish for the first 3 to 5 years so that you can go be unselfish for the rest of your life.
Wow. Dude, that's deep, man. Focus on yourself, guys. Get your life right so you can help other people. Don't try to help other people while you're drowning yourself. You can't save anybody if you're drowning. You have to get out of the water, grab a life vest, get the tools, the tactics, the strategies, so you can start throwing those tools, helping other people, guys. And that's what this channel's for. You know, I'm not saying I have it figured out in all areas, but I have leveled up. I have gotten out of the water in certain areas, and I've learned some tools, some tactics that I can throw you guys and teach you guys. And that's what this channel's for, is documenting the journey. Because there's always an area of life where I'm drowning, where I'm trying to figure out how to get out, how to get to that next level. I mean, no matter what area of life that you go to, you know, whether it be in financial, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, all these guys are drowning to some level to get to the next level. Trying to figure out what are the tools, what are the tactics to get there, guys. And, you know, even though they've leveled up one area, it's the alpha keen mindset that you're going to keep going. You're going to keep staying in that state of continual growth, continual learning that's going to propel you to greatness and continue to max out and become that ultimate version of yourself you were born to become, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, guys. Make sure you give Alex a follow on Instagram, Alexander Tullos, right?
Yeah.
We'll link him down below. And guys, make sure you stay tuned in with this guy. Like I said, if you want to travel for pennies on the dollar, this guy has an incredible webinar explaining the 3 secrets, the 3 things you need to know and be aware of when traveling, so you can go to exotic destinations, like I said, for pennies on the dollar, guys. God bless, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Be the Alpha King, guys. Peace.